Hi, my name is Peter Morin. I'm the Town Administrator for the Town of Norwell, and I'm here to talk about a few of the articles coming up at the 2020 Annual and Special Town Meeting. First article I'm going to talk about is the budget. Originally, our budget was going to be $58.4 million. After the impact of the pandemic, we've reduced that spending by $1.4 million to $57 million. And we're anticipating a $1.4 million reduction, primarily in state aid and in local receipts. So we've reduced $724,000 from the town side of spending, and about the same amount of money from the school side of spending in town government, or for the budget. No layoffs will be required as a result of these reductions. No reserves will be used. We're basically going to be delaying hiring for a number of positions and reducing spending in other areas, but we will be able to deliver the same services just at a reduced cost by delaying new hires and by reducing spending in a number of different areas, including a cost of living freeze for a number of union employees and non-union employees throughout the town. Additionally, I'm here to talk about the capital budget. We're reducing the capital budget spending by about $140,000 from what was originally approved, but we'll be buying things like fire equipment, an ambulance, and a 10-wheel dump truck. And we can hold off on the final expenditure of the money for the 10-wheel dump truck until we're sure that it is an expense that we can afford. We've reduced spending, as I said earlier, on capital expenses by about $140,000, and on other town meeting articles by about $500,000, so that we'll have flexibility in our finances to address possible future adverse impacts of the COVID pandemic. Some of the other articles that are on the town meeting warrant include economic development articles, and other people will go into greater depth about them. But the Accord Park rezoning that would allow for greater density and development in certain areas of the park and a little bit more height in certain areas of the park would allow for more diversity in our tax base that would shelter taxpayers on the residential side a little bit more than they are now. There's also articles that would address medical marijuana and allow for cultivation not only for medical purposes in the medical marijuana overlay zone, but also cultivation for commercial sales. The proponents of medical marijuana that own property that wish to develop a medical marijuana facility say that the current regulation by the state makes it difficult to differentiate between medical and commercial growth. And so they're asking the town to consider changing its current zoning and general bylaws to allow cultivation for commercial purposes. There's also a petition that was brought independently to look at a creation of an assisted living overlay district. That is brought by the petitioners, not by the Board of Selectmen, and that will be considered at town meeting as well. The last area that I want to bring to everyone's attention are two articles that deal with either repeal or reduction of the Community Preservation Act from the Town of Norwell. One would repeal the act in its entirety, and the proponents are doing so to provide residents with a tax reduction that would ensue from removing the surcharge for community preservation. Proponents of retaining the community preservation surcharge say that the state funding has been reduced in so many other areas. If we're receiving state funding through community preservation, we should hold on to it. And it's likely that it may be amended for different uses than it's allowed now, and may help the town in the future in ways that can't be foreseen, but it may not make sense to reduce the CPC and forego the state funding at a time when every dollar is essential. A vote in favor of removing the surcharge would be necessary to place a ballot question that would then have to be passed at by the town, and the tax relief would come in July of 2021. There is also an article that would just reduce the community preservation surcharge by half and provide as a compromise a measure of tax relief, but not forego entirely the benefits of having the CPA for the town of Norwell. Again, that would require a ballot or an approval at town meeting, an affirmative vote, so that a ballot question would be placed on the ballot in a subsequent town election, and then that reduction would take place in July of 2021. Those are the major articles that I'm bringing to your attention for the town meeting, and I hope that you attend, and please look at our website or call my office at 781-659-8000 if you have any questions regarding the annual town meeting.